What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode and a new season, season 2 of Insurance Isn't Boring. I'm your host, Elijah, joined as always by Xander. We got a special guest for y'all. If you're in Symmetry, you know who this man is. I'm gonna establish a little bit of street cred like we always do. It's gonna make our numbers look bad, but I'm okay with that because we wanna bring some value to the people and show folks what's possible. So a little bit of just some stats and some background just to give you guys a reason to listen. If you're an agent within Symmetry, you already know some of these numbers, but if you're looking at this, this is what somebody is doing, and it's possible. So this guy gets his license last June, or was it a year and a half before?
Started June.
Okay, June of 2024, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So you're in a little over a year at this
Yep.
point. Gets his
Yep.
license in June of last year. Month one, a new agent, we're figuring this thing out. He happened to get his license in 5 days, by the way. Month one, he does a casual 50,000 in premium, maybe a little bit over 50 grand in premium, something slight. Month two, he has to push the barrier a little bit, goes out. Dude writes $180,000 in premium in 1 month, y'all. Simplified issue life insurance, just to be clear. He goes on to his first full year in the business. I got these stats from Ashton, by the way, so they're accurate. 1.34 million his first 12 months in the business, guys. His best month was in August of last year, 180,000. And there's something about August. I don't know what's in the air in August, but you did $265,000 in premium in, I think, 4 weeks. I don't remember.
Yeah. In August. Yeah, of the following year. Yeah.
There might be something to August we should talk about, but today we're going to be interviewing Dylan Crane, and he's pushing the envelope on what's possible. This is a podcast about insurance, but we're going to get into sales. We want to get into his brain, how he thinks, what he does, how he operates. And if this conversation inspires you, maybe you could play a little game of copycat and see if you could get some of these results, because the business is booming. It is booming. But Dylan, how are you, man? Where are you at? How's your week going so far?
Yeah.
Let the people know.
Yeah. I look a little informal because I'm in Cancun currently on a free trip, which is why insurance ain't boring. So we gotta throw that in there. But I'm doing good, man. It's I've been traveling all week. I've been speaking all week, so it's I get to speak a little bit more. So looking forward to it.
I dig it. What's the weather like in Cancun today? Probably
Yeah,
85 and sunny.
Yeah, 85 and sunny, looking at the beach right outside the window. Can't beat that, right?
What a hard life we live, bro.
Yeah.
Xander, how are you, man?
Good, man. I'm excited for our trip that we're going on next week.
Yes.
So all the incentive trips around the same time. I think it's a seasonal depression starts to kick in if you live in the Northeast, and so they're like, we'll give everybody a break to the warm weather.
I like it. One of the number one things that attracted me to this business when I was brand new, kind of investigating the insurance industry, was the incentive trips. I was very motivated by that, in addition to the high income producing potential, But Dylan, real quick, like, you've been on a few carrier trips. Sometimes it takes people years to qualify for these trips. You've qualified for multiple in the first 12 months. Do you have a favorite so far? Favorite carrier trip or favorite location?
I think Iceland's gonna be pretty sick next month, but man, honestly, they both were great. I mean, going to the Canary Islands in Spain, that was phenomenal. I mean, there's just Michelin star restaurants just sitting on the corner. I can do that all day. Mexico was great. It was kind of a different view of Mexico. It was more luxurious. Just, you're kind of, you're used to like the all-inclusive resorts where you just go to Cancun. It's just a all-out pig fest and don't know how good the quality of the food is. But it was nice to see a little bit better side of Mexico and in America. So if I had to pick one, I'd probably say the Canary Islands. Those weren't bad.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
I think my favorite so far has been Switzerland, and I'm looking forward to Croatia next year. I missed the America one just by a smidge, dude. So I'm going to try to get the second one to Mexico. Hopefully Xander and I will all be on that trip. That'll be pretty sick.
Be a blast.
That would be. So Dylan, I got to ask, man, you don't have prior insurance experience. You've talked about that on previous podcasts. You do have sales experience, though. What I'm curious is the story behind how you found Symmetry, because I think it's kind of a unique story. I know a little bit about it, but, like, what was life like prior getting your insurance license? How did you find out about Symmetry? What made you take the leap, man?
Sure, yeah. So I played professional basketball for, geez, 10 years. I ran my own business as well. And I think I always had this drive that I wanted to be different. It was born in me. I think everyone always asks, like, where does my discipline come from? Where does the drive to be the best come from? Well, I think partially it was born, quite frankly. I mean, I remember my dad saying when I was like 4 or something that I ran a 5K without quitting. I was like a 4 or 5 year old. So I don't know if most normal 4 or 5 year olds do that. So I guess maybe I had a little bit of that in there. So there's that. Then, I desire to be the best in basketball. I wanted to be the best player on the planet. I'm not blessed athletically, so I couldn't get there, but I tried to have the best skill I possibly could. So I think a lot of it was born. Obviously, it was God given in some ways, but man, I think basketball really instilled a lot of things. There's a quick story I'll share. My dad wanted me to start working at a young age, 15. I started working at 13, like official job. He had me slaving away mowing lawns at like 7, but I started at 15 and I moved trucks. Like I moved houses. Sorry, not trucks. I moved houses. If you've ever moved a
Interesting.
house before, that ain't fun. So I did
Like
that
jacking it
literally.
up and then
Yeah,
moving
the
it
whole
over.
thing. Moving
Okay.
it out, unloading it, the whole thing. Did that like literally as a 15-year-old every single day of summer pretty much. And man, I hated it, but it taught you hard work. It taught you to get the job done. It taught you that, hey, guess what? You can quit, but you still got about 90 other pieces of furniture to move in the house. So you're either going to do it and do it fast or you're going to do it and do it slow, right? So it's kind of the same thing in insurance. It's just like, do I wanna do this business fast or just slow? And
That's good.
I like moving it fast better, so,
You
so
are you are moving
yeah,
fast.
yeah. So that's what I did a little bit. My 2 legitimate sales jobs that I did before this, I sold lights and food processing plants, and nothing like, walking by and looking at a light and seeing a cow's head get chopped off. Sorry for
Yikes.
the graphics, but, that's what my life was.
That is the
And
reality of
then,
that job.
yep, and then the second thing was, I did, roofing sales from home. I did, like, commercial roofing sales, and where I noticed that brought me into insurance was, like, I sold, like, $3 million worth of roofs, and I only made, like, 40 grand. I'm like, "This sucks." Like, I sold a lot of roofs but I'm grinding away for 3, 4 months to try to get a roof, and I'm like, "Man, I can't do this." So, I tried finding something different and, ultimately found insurance just by a principle that I always teach on is just being the best version of you. You gotta be the best version of you if you're gonna find the best opportunities, and, that's something I really pride myself on doing that every single day, and, uh, that's how I got into insurance. There's more story to that, but I'll give you the short version.
Like it.
Yeah, and
Xander, did you have a go ahead, Xander.
no, it's interesting to me the pivot from basketball to sales. Like I saw that you're running your own like coaching company as far as basketball goes.
Yeah,
Did you just realize like I like the transaction part of this where I
yeah.
talk to someone and get paid for it? I'm curious because that seems like a bit of a leap. I
Sure.
mean,
Yeah, like,
with
why'd I go?
insurance.
Well, ultimately, I had to. I'd still be playing basketball today if I didn't have this happen, but, my wife and I, we had a daughter, and, she had a major health issue. So she had to have a heart transplant, so we were in the hospital, I think all around, like, I think it was 280 days, pretty close to that, and, I couldn't play basketball overseas, and I couldn't run the business because we had to move down to Houston, Texas, which is where we're at now, for her because there wasn't to treat her specific condition. We couldn't still live near my business, so I had to sell it, move to Houston, and they had medical care there. So that's what brought me into insurance. I was just finding another way away from basketball, and here we are.
Here we are. Wow. So I know you talked a bit about the work ethic, which it's no secret the insurance business is not a get rich quick business. It can be, but I think
Yeah.
it's a get rich slow business, and it's more guaranteed. The better your work ethic is, you know. And in addition to that, I think you're. I don't know for sure, and I'm curious to get your take on this, but I would imagine you got to be pretty disciplined with a schedule, habits, routines, and rhythms to be able to you're not having a great week and then having an average week. You're having the best week every single month, and you're beating your own record, which set a company record, by the way. You're beating your own record by almost double. And I'm curious, like, what your habits look like. What do you do on a daily basis? Maybe the small things that you think contribute to your discipline and allow you to basically stay in a flow state 24/7.
Yeah, that's one thing I never know I never thought was that big of a deal, but yeah, I'm always kind of in like a rhythm, and I don't know, man. I just have this like I just run. I remember like running harder and faster than everyone else. Like I understood how to do things faster, more efficient, better, and I have a dad that's pretty highly motivated as well. So I kind of saw that, and then it just my brain how it works is just very black and white. So it's like you're either going to quit and not make as much money, and or slow down and not make as much money, or you're going to move faster and make more money. So I'm like, okay, what would you rather have? You'd rather go slower or faster? So it just kind of made sense in my brain.
Yeah.
Um, but I guess just some habits. I mean, started working out at like 12, just lifting weights, right? I believe that if your body is the best version of itself, then your mind and your brain and how you walk and talk, can be the best version of themselves, right? It's like this is how I wake up too. It's like why not be the best version of yourself? Why not be the best you? Like if ultimately you're giving yourself a pass or your brain a pass on what you know you should do, then you're going to give other people a pass and you're not going to be able to give your best to other people. So it just, I don't
Yeah.
know, it all funnels like together for me of just being the best version of you. So I think that's number one. Number two, again, it's just like it's I think it's just like I said, as I've said it a couple times, just building faster. The faster you build, the faster people are going to catch on. Then the better your story is. The better your story is in insurance, the more attractive it is. The more attractive it is, the faster it grows. Right? The law of a lid.
Mm.
I didn't know this was a law until I heard it the other day, but it's like John Maxwell, I believe, teaches this. It's like, hey, the top of the higher the top of your business is, the greater the ceiling it can be. The lower your lid is, the lower the lower your business will be. So I'm like, okay, if I've taught people how to do 258K in a month, then and I've done 2.1 million in a year almost to this point, then guess what? I can have a whole agency of $2.1 million producers, and then I can teach them how to build an agency at the same time. So if I have 100 of those, now I have a $200 million business and I don't think I have to work anymore. Right. So that's just what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and yeah, that's one of the biggest things we were wondering, man, is like what was that pivot point for you, right? You came in, broke basically every record on mortgage protection, and then all of a sudden you go super deep into advanced markets, infinite banking, as well as building a team, which it doesn't seem to have slowed you down too much, but I know a lot of people, when they're trying to, grow a team, end up slowing down a bit. And I'm curious what all that looked like. Was there someone who was in your ear who was like, hey, dude, you're so good at this. You should go duplicate yourself. And this is what it could look like in 10 years. Was it more of a, hey, this was all part of my plan, kill it year one and then year two? Like, I'm curious what that turning point looked like.
Like why I switched into advanced markets and then, obviously building. Well, I've been building since the beginning. So I think there's just like misinformation around recruiting in the beginning. Like for me, I always looked at it as, okay, how much money can I make fast? It's again, it's my brain's just very simple with that. And it's like, so why not recruit? It's like if you can make a lot of money fast, then what's holding you back from recruiting? Like, okay, just figure it out. The only way you're going to get good at something is if you figure out how to do it. What are you going to wait a year then figure out how to build then? That doesn't make sense. So I was like, okay, just start building right now. So I started building day one. I had 6 people on my team virtually within a month when I first started. So
Mm.
like I didn't really make a switch. I just knew that in order for me to get the life I wanted, I had to build faster but I still had to make the same amount of money in producing because it's like how people know me is how much money I make from a production standpoint. That's how people know me. Right. But I want the same thing with building. It doesn't look as sexy, quite frankly, but but what if I can do both? So last month, technically on the charts, I had 28 ready to writes, I believe, and then should have been around 30, 38, I believe. Um, but it's like, okay, I figured out how to build fast. I didn't really get how to build fast. So I figured that out. And then second of all, I figured out how to still produce at the same time. And the easiest way to do it was just like writing fewer apps, spending less time, writing higher AP. And then that ultimately helped me to still make the same, still produce the same, but then build at a higher level as well.
Mm. One thing I think is interesting about you, Dylan, is you got good at every single lead type we have. I mean, you've used lead vendors, you've used Symmetry leads. Symmetry has, I don't know, 8 different types of leads that you can get. You've
Yeah.
used Kaboom leads, and you excelled at all of them. Um, I think a lot of people kind of struggle to get momentum when they make changes quick in their sales process, whether it's taking a different lead or working a different schedule. How did you like, did you run the same schedule every time, and then just the only variable that changed was the lead type? Or did
When
you
you say
did you have to
run
make
the
mo
when you say like run the same, so you mean run the same appointment?
I mean, I know you're not running the same appointment if you're taking, like, a level up lead versus a mail-in A lead, but did your production schedule pretty much look the same? Because I know you start your day early and you end it very, very late. Has that always been a constant for you?
Yeah, it stayed the same.
Wow.
That's
So the
it
only
stayed
thing
the
that
same.
really changed was the lead type and kinda how you worked it.
Yeah, because it's like I gotta figure out all different lead types, right? I can't be confined because then that's my business is only gonna know one lead type. I'd wish my entire organization would purchase $4,000 worth of leads a week and and then that we'd make a lot of money, but everyone ain't willing to do that, right? So it's like how do I the your business can only be successful unless it's duplicatable. Gotta find a way to make it duplicatable. I'm not duplicatable, right? I love to find people that wanna make it duplicatable. So there's 100 guys out there, girls out there that want to spend 4 grand a week in leads to make 120 grand a month. Just go ahead and DM me, please. But
Seriously.
I just haven't, like I haven't met a whole lot of those people yet. I haven't even met one. Right? The guy that I thought might be close, then he found another IMO that gives him free leads, and he's like, "Dude, this is the greatest thing ever, free leads." I'm like, "Okay, man, have a good life, do your thing." So,
I think it cut out there. I heard free leads and then it cut out. Made me think of
okay.
Globe Life. That's the only
Yeah,
company I know who gives
yeah,
out free
so yeah,
leads.
so free leads, like, it's like, yeah, man, just go do the free lead stuff. That's great, awesome, like, but you're never gonna get to where you wanna go. You're gonna spend your life trying to, have someone else run your business for you. And you're never going to get to where you want to go. That's why it's so hard for people to duplicate what I do because they have 90 other excuses or 90 other ways that they think on how they can get to where I'm at. And it just ain't possible. You have to do it the way I did it. I've never seen anyone else do it the way I do it because they're not willing to.
So funny when people are like, "I want what you have, but I'm not willing to like you. I'm not going to do what you did, or you're telling me how to get there." It's like it doesn't make any sense.
And then they complain the system doesn't work.
Yeah.
Daniel, did you have a question, bro? I don't wanna cut you off.
You went from being an expert at mortgage protection to breaking more company records, doing DFL, which is a great product. But I did a lot of IULs about a year ago, and the thing that I ran into was people get more excited about the product, and so they'll tell you things that maybe they'll stretch the truth a little bit, like whether it's what their income level is, whether it's health concerns, because they're like, this can really be the solution for my future. If I tell them the wrong thing, maybe I'm not going to be able to get it. That was just well, it also took longer to underwrite with some of the carriers. I know Foresters is pretty great, but my main thing was I didn't really see a dip in your production at all. And so is it just because you work, 18 hours out of a 24-hour day that you were able to overcome those really quickly? Like, did you have any learnings as you were transitioning from a simpler product to the more advanced market side of things?
Yeah, great question. So that's the mind that I have because I knew it's like, okay, I can't take a week off trying to learn something new.
Yeah.
I had to figure out time where my production didn't dip, could do the same numbers, because let me just pause on that real quick. Like, it's really, really important for everyone here to realize, like, why I have the same numbers, because guess what? Like, I've been posting on social media probably for the past 8 months straight, pretty much every day or multiple times a day, and it's helped me not only recruit, but add value to me in so many ways outside of insurance, simply just by posting, and I knew I had to be consistent with it. So it's like, in order for me to, again, to be great, you just have to give something enough time. So I don't know why I paused there, but I just feel like I need to say that. But
Yeah, it's good.
anyways, the reason I had to I did mortgage protection because that was the main way I knew how to do things. I had to coordinate my lead flow properly, because if I don't spend the same amount of leads each week and I don't have the same amount of leads flowing in each week, obviously my production is going to dip, right? And then I set it up because I didn't understand how to do IBCs. I didn't really get that. It didn't make sense to me. I'm from Alabama. I don't really get it. So I had to find someone who was willing to teach me outside of like normal income producing activity. So I set up all my appointments, mortgage protection, and then I did training on that, whether it was really early in the morning or really late in the evening. And then I started to like, I just wrote one DFL. I just asked a guy a couple questions. I was like, hey, um, are you in debt currently? Are you making overpayments on this? He's like, yes. Cool. Let me just try to write this. So I just tried writing it just with the amount that he told me. I wrote it. And then I started to like slowly eke into it. And then I started to just like, okay, like I can kind of do this. Like it makes sense after I understood the product a little bit more. And that's another thing for all of you that's watching, is like, just jump into it. You're gonna figure it out easier than just trying to have figure all of it out at the beginning. I just jump into it. So I jumped into it, and then at that point, when I started to see it work, I was like, "Oh, okay, this can work really well," especially with the instant issue product. Because my main concern was getting paid normally, right? Because I don't wanna wait forever to get paid, because that was another thing in my brain. And also, Foresters has certain, restrictions to it as far as getting paid as well, so that was in my mind. And so I had to, like, do like a 3-month plan with this, and then I finally made a decision, "Okay, then I'll just mainly go over to DFL," which is pretty much what I'm doing 90% of my business with now. So it was a business plan, it's really a 3-month business plan that I wrote out in my brain that I coordinated to make sure I wouldn't dip at all. So it was very strategic. It's not just like, "Hey, I'm just giving this up, let me go to that." It was
Yeah.
very strategic, so I thought
If
about
you if you could clarify something, Dylan, just because I, I want to let the people know what this means, because you said you had to coordinate with foresters on getting paid. My what the way the way what I'm hearing is you had to make sure that they were going to pay you on everything you were writing because of the amount of business they were about to receive. Is that right? Like
that.
the amount of advances you can get from one carrier in a month does have a cap, and thus they make an exception.
Correct. Yeah, so there yeah, so there was
Dude was
that.
getting paid too much. They had to say, "Hold up."
Well, I mean, that's happened now 6 times.
Wow.
I've had to have my cap raised probably yeah, about 6 times now. So,
To where they just
it's
start paying you as earned pretty much on the business?
yeah, so when it hits my cap, then they pay me as earned, and I get pissed, and then, I'm like, "Okay, we gotta fix this because I don't like getting paid as earned," so then we raise
I'm
it
dying
again.
to know what the cap is. Is it an annual number or is it a monthly
It's a
number?
monthly, yeah.
It's a monthly. Are you comfortable sharing what that cap is or what it was
I know,
initially?
I'm not comfortable sharing that,
Fair enough. It's a
just for
big number, y'all. It's a big number. If you follow Dylan, you know this man makes money. He posted on his story the other day he had a $30,000 deposit from one carrier in one day. The business is good. It is good. Here's a quick question for you because I'm a sales nut, man. So, with your insurance license, one of the cool things that a lot of people don't know is with a life and health license, you can sell all kinds of stuff. I mean, you don't need a securities license to work in financial services. Dylan, you're doing infinite banking slash debt free life. You've done annuities, you've done life insurance, you've done mortgage protection, you've done final expense. If you were to rank those five in an order of like favorite to sell, least favorite to sell, but I'll do it if I have to, how would you rank those five things that we typically do on a weekly basis?
Well, advanced markets are the easiest to sell by far. I don't care how large your commission is. It's the easiest. So I'd probably rank DFL, then annuities, then I'd go IULs, and then I would go mortgage protection and final expense.
Okay, that's what I'm kinda surprised that you're saying advanced markets, annuities, and infinite banking is the easiest to sell. Why is
By
that? Is it
far,
just the
not
the
even
the
close.
people we're dealing with, or what is it?
No, it's just I don't know, maybe it's me, but,
The
like, I
conviction
get
you have about the product?
no, like, it's just when I show people, it's very obvious they have to do it. So, like, they don't feel like they're being sold. I'm not trying to
Mm,
sell anything. I'm just like, "Hey, here's a solution for you. I'm showing you the solution. Do you want it or not? Do you wanna get out of debt in 5 years versus 30? You choose. So I'm giving you the solution." Annuities, like, "Hey, do you wanna make an extra 500 grand depending on how much the annuity is, but do you wanna make an extra 500 grand in 8 years versus, letting it sit in a 401k and potentially losing money?"
yeah, yeah.
Obvious
See,
decision.
yeah, you're making it logical.
It's easier for me to sell someone an $8,000 a month policy versus 50. Way
I
easier.
agree.
Like,
Dude,
not even close.
helping broke people is so much harder, man.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's not even on the same planet.
That's
Go ahead,
funny.
Xander.
It's we always laugh about like, a big mortgage protection premium is, between 500 and $1,000 a month, right? The individual who's looking at that is so much easier to deal with than someone who's looking at a policy that's 30 to $50 a month.
By far.
Alex Hormozy says it all the time, solve problems for richer people and your life will be easier. But like it just did until you go through it, it's something that doesn't like totally make sense, you know?
Mm. Dylan, something I want to ask you about. A couple months back, you were on Ultimate Agent with Cody Askins. We watch all his stuff. I keep up with it. I saw the first couple seasons, and this one was different. And there've been a symmetry person on each of them, which is kind of cool. But
Interesting.
yeah, on the previous seasons, there was always at least one symmetry agent. They've had people from all different IMOs, but I've watched every single one. I'm curious, like, I want to talk about what that week was like for you. Did you prepare at all? What was it? I mean, it was in Texas, so you didn't have to travel that much. Like, was it a fairly normal
It was
week?
in Missouri, actually.
Oh, I didn't realize. My bad.
Okay.
But how did you prepare? Like, what did the getting ready for that look like? Walk me through the day to day, because obviously you smoked it. There was no surprise. Like, before it ever started, I was like, these jokers are Dylan's gonna make them look bad.
Well, I mean, like, there was some really hardworking guys on there,
For
like,
sure.
hardworking guys and girls. I was very surprised.
That's
Like, I
good.
didn't think there was one guy in particular just never done sales before. Like, you could tell just with how he was speaking, like, but was, like, so relentless, like, in everything. I was shocked. Like,
That's awesome.
that just made me see how just, like, possible insurance is. Like, you've never done it before. If you just put some hard work into it, you can make a lot of money.
Yep.
You really
Yep.
can. You just have to work hard. Just people aren't willing to work hard. It's a problem. Um, so anyways, just kinda going back to it, I almost treated it like I was heading into an NBA season or like a
Yeah.
well
I had
season.
a feeling.
It's exactly how I treated it. Like, I was training, like, 3 weeks in a row, just, like, with role playing, make sure my tonality, make sure like, my objection handling was, like, rock solid. I was, like I probably role played anywhere between 1 to 3 hours a night for 3 weeks
Wow.
straight, just, like, prepping and just making sure that every time I got on an appointment, I was closing them because I knew all these guys out here were probably gonna one call close. So I'm like, I gotta make sure I'm staying ahead of it. Then I also had to make sure my systems were faster than theirs, right? So whenever I received a lead, it would go straight into my system where I would text them automatically. And then that way they would realize who they're speaking with if I couldn't get to call them right away.
Yeah.
So like a lot of guys, when they're on the phone and they're just dialing the leads, they might not see a new lead come in. And then versus mine, I would text them right away, they'd be in knowledge of it. And then now they might say, "Hey, call me right now." Cool. And then I just call them right now and book an appointment. And then I'm booking 20, 30 appointments within 2 days,
Wow.
versus, someone else trying to get a hold of these people for days because you have a text that has my license card on it, my ID card essentially. So I'm verifying that I'm real. They're getting a text right away. They know the lead's real. They know it's a real thing. So that was great. So I had to make sure all my systems, my skills were all in place and ready to go. When I had all that, then that made the week a lot easier to really succeed. I had to make sure my time zones were in order as well.
Yeah.
That way I could dial from certain time zones before everyone else got there too. So I had to make sure those 3 things were in line, and then that helped me write a lot of business.
Over
Yeah.
30,000. And was that on final expense leads?
Yeah, they pretty
So
We're talking
the
like
fifth
60, $70 premiums.
yeah, I did
his least favorite.
I think I did 40, almost 50 some apps that week. It was nuts.
My
Holy
god.
smokes. Well, one thing we did want to talk to you about was technology because for whatever reason, the insurance industry seems to, in my opinion, have lagged behind a lot of other industries technology wise. Like there's top producers who are still not using a CRM. They're printing out paper leads and calling people. Like e-apps were new due to COVID, and so I kind of figured that at the level you're doing things at, like technology is an absolute necessity. I'm curious. You gave us, I guess, a little bit of insight there, but are you using a dialer? What kind of automations are you using? Like, what is a non-negotiable for you to make it so you can focus on the highest leverage activities, which is actually talking to people.
Yeah, I've never used a dialer. I've never had an appointment setter. I have a CRM. I have a production assistant, which pushes a lot of my business through. But then outside of that, I'm literally just dialing on high level. And I have a CRM that kind of texts them after I've texted them initially. And that helps get people on the phone so I can dial them right away. But like, I kid you guys not, like, it might sound unbelievable, but like, I'm sitting at my desk all day and I'm working like a mile a minute all day. So, like, if I'm putting that type of activity in, like, again, it's gonna seem real and unreal to the people that don't spend that type of activity. And I think the bigger thing too is, like, I've been doing it for so long, like, I've been doing it the same numbers over and over again every single week for the past year and 15 months. So that might be unbelievable to people, but when you work the same way, when you spend the same amount of leads, when you get better at objections, when you um, write bigger policies, you're going to do the same thing over and over again. It's just like you're not going to know it until you start doing the same things every single week. And if you don't know it, then start with $1,000 a week and then go to 1,500 the next week and then go to two. And then you'll start realizing like, oh, so if I just range in between the same leads between 1 and 4 grand or 1 and 3 grand, then if I turn it up to this, I can make this. And if I turn it down to this, I'm going to make this. And then
Mm,
you start figuring out where it is after you've learned your skill and failed fast and, all the things beforehand.
yeah. I was curious if you use a dialer, but I've looked into having a dialer in the past, man, and they don't dial as good, and they're not the ones spending the money on the leads, and so I didn't wanna. I've used it in the past, and it was never as effective as me having the conversation with the lead to book the appointment.
Yeah.
Um, have
I want to
you so
just point
you
out by dialer, I
Yeah,
meant Symmetry went out and built Funnel. Go High Level has like Kixie, Wave, all these other things that so you can talk to more people, not a different person, but to make it easier for you to
yeah.
get through.
Yeah. Still have never done it, just high level. And I just clicked the green button.
So simple, I love it. Um So I want to talk just a little bit about your schedule real quick because you're working when you're working. You're not. You said it on the last podcast or the last call you were on with Edward. Like if you get no showed or something, you're not scrolling through your Discover page on Instagram. Like you're back on the phone, you're dialing, you're on to the next conversation, and you're super efficient when you're working. What time do you start your workday? And when do you end on a
Yeah.
normal day? And then how many days a week is that the schedule?
Sure.
Or is it
In the
7 days a week?
Yeah, in the beginning, it was a lot different versus now. So in the beginning, I was starting at 7 and I felt like I was behind. Even if I had done like 20, 25 AP in the week, I feel like behind. I'm like, I got to get to 45 or something. Like I think that's another thing about me is like, I feel like I'm always behind. Like
Mm,
last week on the leaderboards, I technically did like 24, but from a cap standpoint, I did 18. But like I brought on 29 agents last month weekly, and so like and they were all I would probably say with the exception of maybe 7, they were all direct to me. So like I got stuff to do,
right.
but like so there's a lot of stuff I got going on. So when I first started, it was like 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. Like I spent 4 days roughly that way, like killing myself 4 days. I took Friday off. Then when my team started to grow, Then I turned it into probably like 7 a.m. to probably like 11:30. And then I work 4 days, and then Fridays I stop at 7:30, but I'll do interviews or I'll do whatever all day. And then since I transitioned to DFLs, then now in IBCs, now I started dialing roughly around like 8, but I have my phone starts blowing up at 7. Make sure I'm up by then. I'll usually do my workout in the evening because, you know, sometimes I need a little more sleep than getting up at like 5:30 every day. So I'll do my workout in the evening. Um, get all my stuff done and work out at like 10, then go to sleep, do it all over again. So it's really just Monday to Friday mainly.
That's
Well,
crazy.
then now, since I have added social media, I do filming all Saturday, and then I'll film like half the day and then make sure my social media is lined for the week. And I also post full time on social media too. So
Yeah.
there you go.
I'm curious what recovery looks like, man. You're an athlete, and I understand like there's seasons where you're competing, you're prepping, you're training, you're in the zone, and then there's got to be like shifting to gear one and pull it back. I don't know if you do that at all, but like, what is recovery? How do you recharge? Like,
Yeah.
are you just drinking 15 espressos a day? Like, what what does that look like? How do you
Yeah.
maintain your batteries?
Sure. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink energy drinks.
That's insane.
So I so put that disclaimer out there. Yeah, I just drink water, man, and then I don't eat sugar. I just eat like steaks and eggs and you know ground beef and yeah, that's about it. And there's some
Diet.
dates. I like dates.
All
So
the
no,
biohackers are loving this.
right, right. Yeah, I don't really drink any of that, man. So um, I forgot the question now. What'd you say?
I was just asking, how do you recharge? Like, do you
Oh,
have
how
any
I recharge. Yeah,
downtime?
so usually in the weekend I go through like a wellness day where I'll go to the gym, I'll hit the sauna, cold plunge, work out, really get a good sweat in, make sure I'm loosened up. Like my body feels a lot better when I'm loose, like when my hips, whenever my hips get tight, you kind of just feel terrible. Uh, so I really kind of go through that phase. And then I don't know, I haven't had like a legit vacation in a while just because I've been really focused on building the business, man. Like when I went on the carrier trip to Spain, I would say I spent like 2, 3 days just really unplugged. But outside of that, like in Iceland next month, like I'm in the middle of a 130 run right now. Like I'm trying to hit it's really hard to get 145K issued. That's
Yes.
hard. It's really hard to hit 225, obviously. So I just brought on the number one producer from FFL. So
Wow.
like we're him and I are gonna kind of hit it pretty hard, so we should be fine. So, but no, I mean, I just recharge just getting in the gym a little bit, just sauna, cold plunge, get some good rest, and then back at it again the next week.
I love it.
I'm
Xander,
just
close
I'm
us out, man. What do we want to leave the people with?
I mean, it's something that we've heard before, and it's been a pretty common theme with a lot of the people that we've had on here is, if you want more, you got to go do more. Like, Jake Van Dusen says the same thing. Oh, you want to double your production? How about you double the amount of leads you're taking and go, run double the amount of appointments? Like, it's not rocket science, but it's also not something that a lot of people are willing to do. Working from 7 to 2, and I know part of that was role play. Like, very few people in the United States are willing to do that. Like, let's just be honest. And so everyone sees Dylan on all of the leaderboards and social media and everything, and they're like, "Man, I'd love to do that." Well, he's not, you know, hiding what he's doing, and so I just think that makes it a lot cooler of like, all right, cool, go do it. And so I really appreciate you spending the time with us. I think it's cool the progression that you've made from like you're a very methodical guy, and I just respect the hustle and the pivots you've made make a lot of sense, and it's fun watching you kill it every week. So I don't really have much else to say besides if you want to be in Dylan's shoes, like he's telling you what you need to go do it.
Yeah. No, I will say for everyone out there, like you do have to be very good at sales skills. Like there's a lot of things from a sales standpoint I didn't realize that I did either naturally or I've learned. And I think that's a conversation for probably another time. But Like you really have to be good at sales. Like everyone thinks that you just come into insurance, just work hard. Like that's not the case. Like you can't be dumb on the phone. It's like you got to really understand people's cadence, what they're thinking on the phone, how are they feeling just by maybe a verbal flutter, or how are they feeling just maybe off body language. So like the easiest way when I first started and I learned is like I was still good at sales because I've been doing it for 15 years, but I had to get face to face with people because unless I got face to face, like that took out so many objections. That took out socials. That took out bank info. That took out are you a real person? That took out like is this a real product? Right? That took out
Yeah.
so many things, and I think so many people are unwilling to do that or don't have the posture to do that. And I guarantee if Symmetry as a whole got rid of that, where there was a requirement for everyone to get on video, we'd probably have as an IMO probably a 60 to 65, 70% persistency rate, which is
That's good.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like that would be phenomenal as an entire IMO, right? So, uh, we'll have to do another thing in regards to sales, but
I
it's
think that would be fun. We could get into some NEPQ stuff. We've all done Jerry Minor courses, and if you're down, I'm down, bro. But I don't want to keep you late. We both have appointments at 6. That's what we're doing on a Friday night. If you're wondering what the number one producer in Symmetry who's making a lot of money is doing on a Friday night, it's not out hitting the clubs and throwing back margaritas. Like the dude's dialing. He's running appointments.
Vacation,
He's
mind you.
on vacation. He's making it happen. Um, but if any of this, if you're not a part of Symmetry and you're like, I want to work with this guy, he may or may not hire you. He's looking for specific people, but go ahead and follow him. It's Insurance Athlete, right?
yeah,
On
the
Instagram?
insurance athlete on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, and find me there. Yeah, hopefully you're ready to grow because we ain't doing any average
You're
stuff over there.
you're gonna get left behind if you're not. But with that, get out, go kick some tail, and we'll see you guys next Friday. Have a great week.
Enjoyed it. Thanks, fellas.